everyone, and welcome to another action-packed hour of international wrestling. I'm Mike Mittman, and with me, one of the greatest champions to ever grace the ring, Bruno Sammartino. And Bruno, this week we'll be taking a look at Ron Shaw in action.
Well, you know, I must say about Ron Shaw and talking to him and everything, I like his attitude. He was unhappy with his tactics that he felt he was forced to use with the Schroeder and his teacher Kowalski. He feels much better about himself. He's got a lot of confidence, and I, for one, congratulate him to have the courage to admit the wrong that he had done in the past and that he's willing to go according to the rules now. And I think it takes a lot of courage for a guy to admit his wrongs and make a clean sweep.
And we'll also take a look at a young superstar of wrestling, and I know you know a lot about this young man, Bruno Sammartino Jr.
Well, you know, Mike, I am proud of him because I'll tell you what, I've always loved people who are dedicated to whatever they do. And I must say about Junior that he truly is dedicated. He wants to make it. He wants to make it big. And I'll tell you, he trains with the same intensity that I ever did. And he eats, he sleeps, he thinks wrestling 24 hours a day. And when somebody has got it in his heart, that much to become the best he possibly can, I'd say that there's nothing that's going to stop him. And Junior, I must, you know, give credit where credit is due. He's really given 100% toward, you know, his career as a professional wrestler.
And this week we'll also see in action Rocky Jones, Gentleman Jerry Luscious Johnny, the Valiant Brothers, and many, many more. We'll be right back to begin all the action right after this message. To international wrestling. These matches are sanctioned by the State Athletic Commission, the Honorable James Bin Commissioner, the Chief Deputy in Charge, Mr. Peter Lash. Your timekeeper at the bell, Dave Moses. Your doctor in attendance at ringside, Dr. Lawrence Bender. Your referees for this hour of wrestling, Ken Jugan and Fred Sparta. The opening contest from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 275 pounds, Ron Shaw. And his opponent from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 235 pounds, Ed Bonzo. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. Well, Bruno, to open up things this week, Ron Shaw taking on Ed Bonzo, and of course we talked a little bit in the opening about the change of attitude on the part of Ron Shaw.
Well, I really like what he has to say. I've spoken to him several times now, and he really feels good because, as he said years ago, as we've talked so many times, this is a Manuel Act conference. There's a beautiful takedown. Right now we saw Shaw get behind Bonzo, scoop him up and take him down for... well, Bonzo's trying to sit out, but Shaw is not allowing him and still on top of him. But anyway, the point is that he feels much better about himself. When he didn't have no confidence, he did gain a lot of confidence by training with people like Kowalski, teaming up with Schroeder, but he felt unhappy because pressure from family, friends, and so forth. And he also had the confidence that he believed that he could go in that ring and win a match fair and square. And now that it's happened, even though he's very bitter towards Schroeder, but he really welcomes the opportunity to go into that ring and to show the whole world that Ron Shaw is, in fact, a very clever wrestler, a scientific wrestler, and he can be successful. And I take my hat off to the man for, as we said earlier, for admitting to all his wrongs and to admit to it and not to go into that ring and prove that he is a quality wrestler.
And there's Ron Shaw getting the better of Ed Bonzo at the moment. And Shaw keeping a hold of those knees, putting them to the canvas and working on actually a reverse chinlock to the face of Ed Bonzo.
Well, he's got a reverse chinlock, but this whole night he's got this double toe hold over there. That puts a lot of pressure, not only on the knee, but when he had him by the chinlock, he was putting a lot of pressure on the small of the back, besides the neck of Bonzo. So very punishing.
And a beautiful flip we just saw a moment ago, Bruno, by Ron Shaw. And as we've mentioned time and time again, giving credit where credit is due, Ron Shaw, for a big man weighing about 275 pounds, standing roughly, I guess, about 6'7", he's very quick, very agile, and we've seen this constantly in his matches.
No question about it. For a tall guy, he's very cool. He's well coordinated. He's got good speed. He's got good stamina, and as I said, he's got a lot of clever moves, which is and he does them with real good speed, very good timing, and that's good to see because a lot of big guys, really tall guys, usually aren't all that as well coordinated as a smaller man. But Shaw has shown all these qualities.
And we saw a hammerlock by Ron Shaw, and he turned that into a takedown. And again, going into that toe hold. And Bonzo struggling at the moment, trying to work his way out. He is in center ring, nowhere near at the moment the rings where he can force into an automatic break. And referee Ken Jugan taking a look at the situation. And there is Ron Shaw now applying the pressure to that toe hold. And there is Bonzo now with an eye gouge. And that was certainly one way to get out of that hole.
Well, I think he had no other way of getting out, so he found a cheap way and a sure way of getting out. And now, of course, he's following through. And that, no matter how big you are, how strong you are, when somebody rakes you across the eyes like that, you're gonna be hurt, because as the old saying goes, your eyes don't have muscles.
Exactly. For anybody that's ever been hit with anything in the eyes, they know the eyes are the most sensitive part of the human body. And there is Ed Bonzo now raking the throat of Ronnie Shaw against the top rope. Shaw out of it now. Bonzo grabbing hold of the left arm and into the rope, into the turnbuckle, smashes Shaw. Shaw moving out. Bonzo coming in and hitting the head on the metal ring post. And I'd say that shook up Bonzo just a little bit.
Yes, it did, but he's very lucky. He didn't hit it all that solid. He caught it sideways. There's a big slam by Shaw. Had he gone straight ahead on that steel post, now that's amazing. Here's a guy, 6'7", so throwing a beautiful drop kick. And, well, I think you're going to see this double roll here. No, I thought there might have been a pin, but he got out. But I was about to say, Mike, if Bonzo had hit that steel post solid, he would have cracked his skull in half. But he's lucky he got it with a glancing blow.
He was very fortunate indeed that time. He's coming back.
Yeah, he was lucky to escape that small package that Shaw had him in, because usually you don't get out of that thing.
Off the ropes, and Bonzo was waiting for him and flips him over the back. And now there comes Bonzo with the knee to the small of the neck. And again, using that elbow, Ron Shaw coming back with the right hand. And a chop to the midsection of Ed Bonzo. And a reversal there by Bonzo. And a beautiful maneuver by Ron Shaw, flipping
That was
Ed
a
Bonzo
sunset
over.
flip, and he executed it very, very well, and there was no way that Bonzo was going to get out. There was a beautiful sunset flip, Mike.
And I think, Bruno, we can take a look at that sunset flip or monkey flip. There you can see Shaw off the ropes.
See, Bonzo telegraphed that backdrop. He wanted a backdrop Shaw, but he telegraphed it, and Shaw just did a beautiful sunset flip, took him over and pinned him.
Right now, let's go up for the official time. And there was the winner in 5 minutes and 50 seconds, Ron Shaw. We'll be right back right after this message. 240 pounds, Jerry Fazio. And his opponent from Berlin, Germany, 275 pounds, Hans Schroeder. And there you have it. The next contest, Big Hans Schroeder from Berlin, Germany, taking on Jerry Fazio from New Jersey. And Bruno, Jerry Fazio has proven himself, certainly over the last few weeks here on International Wrestling, to be young and certainly not with all the experience one would like to see, but a tough competitor.
He's a very tough competitor. As you said, he's a big fella. He's a strong fella. Of course, he's in there with a guy that's also very strong, bigger in size, and a lot more experience. So Fazio, there's no question he's going to have a tough battle in his hand, because he's meeting a tough veteran who weighs close to the 300-pound mark, who's been around a number of years, and he has wrestled the best. But this is a good test for Fazio. If he can do well against the likes of a Schroeder, well, then you know that he has to be considered, quite a wrestler in his own right. Now, this is overhead wrist lock. Fazio right now, the way he's applying it overhead wrist lock, really can't put a lot of pressure. Schroeder went down, but I think he's claiming hair pulling, which of course is nonsense.
And Jerry Fazio had an armbar as he took Hans Schroeder down, but somehow the referee was convinced that Fazio did pull the hair. It was a foul, and thus the hold was broken. And now they're in center ring locking up, and there's Hans Schroeder with a side headlock. And definitely we saw a hip toss, but a pull of the hair on the part of Hans Schroeder.
That's exactly, pulled the hair, but then he did shoot his hips into the midsection of Fazio for leverage and did take him over.
And right now, Hans Schroeder still with that side headlock, keeping the pressure on Jerry Fazio. And Fazio struggling. He did regain his footage. And there, now we're seeing a test of strength on the part of both wrestlers. And there goes Schroeder with a hair pull. And we mentioned before this particular maneuver, the side headlock, especially the way Fazio was in it, is very tough on the ears.
Well, we can see that Schroeder's using all these cheap tricks that he knows, and he knows how to use well, hiding from the referees. And unfortunately, Fazio is paying the price.
And now a reverse chin lock by Hans Schroeder. And Hans Schroeder with those huge forearms really applying the pressure on Jerry Fazio. And Bruno, the way Schroeder has that hold on, it almost is like a sort of a semi-sleeper, the way he's putting the pressure on Jerry Fazio.
Well, yes, but you cannot put a sleeper from that position because he cannot use proper leverage. You have to be, I believe, on your feet, and you have to be able to use your weight as you're putting the pressure on both sides, because the object is to stop the blood from going to both sides of the veins on the side of the neck. It stops the blood from going to the brain.
And you can hear the fans cheering Fazio on, and Fazio, a series of smashes to the midsection, but Schroeder takes him down, and there's a stomp with those size whatever boots to the back of Jerry Fazio. And now Schroeder digging both hands into the neck muscles of Jerry Fazio. And certainly Jerry Fazio has been through some rough going, and if he's to get his second win in this bout, it will definitely be due because of the fine conditioning, and conditioning will tell in this match.
Well, that's true, but, you know, he has been on the receiving end, and when you have a big fellow like Schroeder, you can only take so much, and all you're going to do is be weakening and weakening and weakening. So if Fazio can pull himself together, he's got to start making a move, start getting aggressive against Schroeder, because if Schroeder's going to stay on top of Fazio and keep choking and pounding as he has been, I'm afraid that he's going to weaken Fazio a little too much for Fazio to be effective in trying to come back against Schroeder.
And there's a smash, another elbow smash to the midsection. Off the ropes, the shoulder block, and down goes Schroeder. And it looks like Fazio went for the abdominal stretch, but the abdominal stretch didn't quite get it set.
Well, it either could be that, or Schroeder might have tried to come up with a knee to catch Fazio in the midsection. I really don't know which was which, but as a result, they both got it, and now there's Fazio caught in a headlock and it's been taken over again, and Schroeder's again on top.
And so far in the match, Hans Schroeder has been quite effective with the hip rolls, with hip tosses.
There's no question he's been in command on the weight. He's the guy who's been on top of the situation up to now, and I like to see Fazio stop him somehow and and make a good comeback on him. But thus far, it just hasn't worked.
And now they're on the ropes, and Fazio tosses Schroeder off the ropes. Schroeder coming back with a shoulder block. Again, another shoulder block by Schroeder. And this time they collided, and it looks Fazio got caught by a knee, but I think Hans Schroeder also got a piece of that.
That's right. Again, Schroeder tried to catch, he tried to catch Fazio in the midsection with a knee. But again, Fazio must have caught him high because Schroeder went down too. Now Fazio's very upset, very angry, so far. And right now he should really stay on top of Schroeder. Right now he seems to be on the offensive, and he shouldn't let up. He should just stay on him, buckle him, go after him right away.
Into the turnbuckles, and there goes a beautiful scoop slam by Jerry Fazio. Again, shoulder block by Fazio off the ropes, and Fazio spun outside of the ring. It looks like Schroeder got a piece of the hair and a piece of the arm and just slung him right outside.
Yeah, but I'm afraid that as he went over that top rope, he caught the edge of the ring on the small of his back, and I doubt very much if he's going to be able to make it back in time. And there it is. The count of 10 is Fazio. Did not come back in time.
And you were correct. Wrestling fans, the winner of that match from Berlin, Germany, Hans Schroeder. We'll be right back with more exciting international wrestling right after this. Introducing from the city of Bayshore, Bob Crespi. And his opponent from Kearney, New Jersey, weighing in at 235 pounds, the very popular Rocky Jones. And again this week on International Wrestling, we'll see one of the real bright, up-and-coming young wrestling stars from New Jersey, Rocky Jones, and he'll be meeting Bob Crespi. And Bruno, Rocky's consistently showed us solid technique, a lot of speed, great physique, and just about everything you want to see in a professional wrestler.
Rocky Jones, in my opinion, I've been saying it all along, he has everything going for him. Rocky Jones can meet the best there is in the wrestling business, and he can be successful against anybody. He's got the size, he's got strength, he's got speed, he's got stamina, he's got know-how. He's just a fantastic, fantastic athlete. And this Crespi here, he's going to try to rely on some cheap shots with Rocky Jones, but Jones can go that way too if that's what an opponent likes. If an opponent wants to get rough, Rocky can show anybody that they can do that too.
And there's Rocky Jones, and now they're locking up, trying to gain the upper hand. And now the referee's position, there's Rocky Jones turning it into a side headlock. And there's Crespi spinning him into the ropes. Off comes Jones with a shoulder block. And right now, Rocky Jones just being very careful, very calculating, and shoulder roll by Rocky Jones.
Well, that Crespi, he was kind of dazed from that shoulder block they received, the tackle, and he didn't know where he was there for a minute. So Rocky Jones tried to catch him with a quick headlock and shoot him right over, and he did. And I think that he still hasn't cleared the cobwebs. He seems kind of. You wouldn't think that he would be so shook from a tackle, but you know, he got hit hard, and I think that his head hit the mat as he came down, and that's why he seemed so dizzy. Again, cheap start now. He raked across Rocky Jones's eyes, and there's Rocky Jones, like I just said. He'll fight fire with fire. He just showed this gentleman, if you want to get rough, he can do it just as well. And you know, Mike, you have to do that. You have to teach these guys, if they want to play against the rules, then you've got to go their way and just give it to them twice as much, and that's the only way that you're going to show them that, hey, you're not going to get away with this nonsense.
And you saw Bob Crespi turning to the fans. I actually believe, Bruno, he was stalling for time. Off the ropes, and another shoulder block by Rocky Jones. Again, shoulder block, and he's right there and takes Crespi right over with a shoulder roll. And there's a side headlock by Rocky Jones, and Crespi going for the hair. And there is Rocky Jones now really applying, really putting the body behind that side headlock. And Crespi at the moment trying to figure out exactly what to do after having been caught in this position. Going for the hair again. And Rocky Jones, certainly one of the finest young athletes you'll ever see. You can tell the hours of gym work that he puts in really do show when he comes into the ring.
Rocky Jones wants to be the best he can possibly be, and so therefore he's doing everything right. He's working out religiously. He spends a lot of time in the gym, which is so extremely important. And you know, the people love him because they also sense that he does give it everything in that ring. The fans are always behind Rocky Jones, and Rocky Jones never lets his fans down because so far he's undefeated.
You can hear the fans, Bruno. They're chanting, "Let's go, Rocky! Let's go, Rocky!" Crespi ducking for cover, so to speak, outside the ring. Jones hauls him in, scoops him up, and slams him down to the canvas. And an elbow smash by Rocky Jones. And it looks like that's it.
Fantastic. Let's go, Rocky. And Rocky went. He went and he defeated his opponent in a hurry.
Right now, let's take a look at that. You can see Jones scooping him up, and you can see the actually the ring floor actually moving up and down from the weight of Crespi hitting it, and a follow-up elbow smash, and that was all that was needed to be done. Wrestling fans, in 4 minutes and 45 seconds, your winner, Rocky Jones. We'll be right back with more exciting wrestling action right after this message. Time limit. Introducing from Spain, weighing in at 230 pounds, Gypsy Rodriguez. And his opponent from Puerto Rico, 225 pounds, Manuel Soto. Bruno Manuel Soto locking up with Spain's Gypsy Rodriguez, and this should be an interesting contest because you really do have two ring veterans inside.
Well, you do, but you also have a Soto who is a scientific wrestler who loves to go in that ring and display good wrestling. And you have a Gypsy Rodriguez who likes to display a lot of rough tactics, who very seldom you see him go do anything by the books. So it's going to be an interesting bout. But of course, you know my feelings towards Soto. I've always said Soto is one of the finer wrestlers, one that has never received the credit he's deserved. And I think that you're going to see that he will do well against Rodriguez. Headlock takeover by Soto.
And there's Manuel Soto with a side headlock. And now Gypsy Rodriguez trying to regain his footing, but Soto keeping that side headlock on. And now Rodriguez grabbing the back of the trunks, off the ropes, shoulder block by Manuel Soto. And now Soto picking him up with actually a front face lock. Off the ropes. And in comes Gypsy Rodriguez with the boot. It looks like it hit the lower midsection.
Well, they caught him with a knee right by the solar plex. And that, of course, will knock your wind out. It's a terrible feeling. And now rounding his head against the buckle. And right now, Rodriguez has got Soto in trouble. And, of course, you see this Rodriguez. One thing about him, you hate his tactics. He certainly is a rule breaker, but when he gets you hurt, you're going to be in trouble because he does not let up. He follows up, and Soto somehow is going to have to get himself together here before too much. Now here's a buckle. Oh, and I thought for a split second, I thought that maybe Soto might reverse it, but I guess he just was still kind of stunned from all that he's been receiving and just couldn't do it.
And there is Frank the Gypsy Rodriguez spinning around, and there's the reversal.
Reverse and back body drop. Beautiful. Now you see a drop kick here. No, flying head scissors. Better yet.
And a beautiful flying head scissors, Bruno. And I believe when Gypsy Rodriguez came down, he didn't roll over on that. His head came first and hit first rather than the back area.
Indeed, he did. He shot up there. He caught him on a beautiful flying head scissor, but the way Soto's body dropped before Rodriguez could flip over, his head did hit the mat. I don't imagine he hit it too solidly because otherwise he could have done, some serious injury. But however, I'm sure it stunned him, and he's got the head scissors right now by Soto, and he doesn't seem that he's kicking that hard trying to get out, which could very well be that he's still kind of stunned from that blow that he took.
And Soto still hanging on to that head scissors, and I believe you're probably right in that Gypsy Rodriguez trying to buy a little time to regroup a little bit and clear the cobweb, so to speak.
Well, it's going to be hard to regroup from this position because Soto's applying a lot of pressure on his head, and that can only, you see right there now, the way he's got him right now. Look at this, banging his head on that mat, and you know that isn't going to clear the cobwebs. They're just going to put more on.
And Rodriguez finally working clear, but there's Soto coming in with a foot to the head, and now crashing Rodriguez into the turnbuckle, right hand to the left side of the face. And there's Manny Soto hauling him over.
And now there's drop kick. Now it's a beautiful build. One drop kick, and here comes, oh, another flying head scissors.
Beautiful flying head scissors by Manuel Soto. And all those years of experience certainly are paying off for Manuel Soto. You can tell the style really is showing.
Yes, sir. You're looking at one of the top pros in that ring is Manny Soto.
And there goes some smashes to the midsection by Frank the Gypsy Rodriguez, now bringing it up to the head. And again, more smashes by Rodriguez. Off the ropes goes Manuel Soto coming in. And it looks like Rodriguez was waiting for him to time that, flips him over. Coming down is Rodriguez with a knee to the midsection, not making the pin, going, getting about the point of 2.
That was a very, very high backdrop because Rodriguez got Soto on. I mean, he shot him way up in the air, and Soto must have came down every bit of 8 feet on that mat. And then when he did, he got caught with a knee drop, which you know, really is got to hurt you. So Soto, again, I feel showed just how tough he is to able to get out from getting pinned after a big drop. Let's see, a big body slam coming up.
He scooped him up and slammed him down to the canvas, and Rodriguez following that up with a knee to the throat. But Rodriguez still not being able to put the tough veteran down for the count. Off the ropes, there goes Manuel Soto coming in, and Rodriguez being very effective up to this point.
That's the second time he got him with a very big back body drop. And I'll tell you, the first time a back body drop and a knee drop on top of the chest, and Soto managed to kick out. This time a big back body drop again, and again kicked out. But I'll tell you, as I said before, Soto is a great, great wrestler. But again, we can't take anything away from Rodriguez, the rule breaker, but he's a tough one. And he is giving Soto quite a bit of competition in his bout.
And now there goes Frank the Gypsy Rodriguez applying the pressure to the lower neck muscles of Manuel Soto, trying to sap the strength of Manny Soto. Now a front face lock, and that's followed up by a knee to the midsection. Off the ropes, and a elbow smash to the throat of Manuel Soto, and that had to hurt.
He did. He caught him right in the throat. He caught him right in the throat that time. And I'll tell you what, Soto is taking quite a few licks here, but again, he's proving over and again that he can take the best of blows and still go on, because he has taken some hard blows from Rodriguez, and he's still, not only is he still in it, but he's still got fire. And as we see here, throwing the right to midsection of Rodriguez, and now comes with another right across the jaw of Rodriguez. Rodriguez comes up with a double knuckler, but he got caught again by Soto. So Soto again shows that he can get hurt, but he comes back. A leg dive, leg scissors.
And there's a leg scissors now. Rodriguez on the canvas, and Manny Soto trying to really apply the pressure to the ankle of Frank the Gypsy Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to sit out. And the referee checking that elbow around the throat to make sure it's not a chokehold on Manuel Soto. And it looked like Soto trying to work his way. He does work his way into the ropes. Only now, it looks like Rodriguez trying to get back in the center ring. And now there is Rodriguez taking part of the tights, the shoulder strap that was choking Manuel Soto momentarily. And he spins Soto into the ropes, comes through with a elbow smash to the throat. And right now, Frank the Gypsy Rodriguez appears to have things a little bit his way. And a beautiful flying drop kick by Manuel Soto.
Well, he went for that elbow again. Soto sidestepped, and he caught him with a drop kick. Here's a big batted drop by Manny Soto. And let me see what he's going to do now. Here he comes up with the flying body press. I now believe this is going to be it.
And the count of 3. And Manny Soto put the finishing touches on Frank the Gypsy Rodriguez. And right now, Bruno, we'll take a look at some slow motion action. There is Soto coming off the ropes, a beautiful flying body press. And he really caught Rodriguez got the leverage and went for the count of 3. Wrestling fans, in 8 minutes and 42 seconds, your winner, Manuel Soto. We'll be right back with more international wrestling right after this contest. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from New York City, weighing in at 240 pounds, Joe Larsen. And his opponent, 225 pounds from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Bruno Sammartino Jr. Well, here we have another look at Bruno Sammartino Jr., and he'll be meeting Joe Larsen. I really don't know anything about Joe Larsen. I've never seen him, Bruno.
I don't either. I don't know anything about him either, but I'll tell you what, he looks to me like he's a heck of a lot heavier than 240 pounds. And it's not a well put together 240 pounds either.
I think he had his other foot holding up the scale, cheating a little bit. Beautiful maneuver by Bruno Sammartino Jr. And again, we just witnessed the tremendous strength, the power of Bruno Jr.
Well, he's got behind him and he shot him right out for a back suplex. And that's a very hard thing to do because you have to scoop the guy up. It's a hard way to lift the guy up, and he took him up with pretty good ease.
And so far, Larsen strutting around the ring. And a leg toe takedown by Bruno Sammartino Jr. And now Bruno Sammartino Jr. applying the pressure with being caught there both legs. And now trying to wrench that ankle and working his way up front towards the lower back area, and Bruno Sammartino just stepping over Larsen, saying, come on, I'll let you out of this one. Let's go at it. And now both wrestlers going for positioning, and a beautiful arm drag takedown by Bruno Sammartino Jr. And you can see the pain on the face of Joe Larsen as he went down from that arm drag takedown.
He may have hurt his shoulder. He may have hurt his shoulder from that suplex that he took from Junior earlier, because he's been favoring that shoulder quite a bit, this Larsen. He did take a very, very heavy blow, and I noticed even when he got arm dragged that as he come up, he was favoring that shoulder.
And a step over wrist lock, and he takes Larsen over. And you know, Bruno, at this point, I think it's safe to say Bruno's being very cool, very calculating. Larsen's not really giving him that much opposition, so he's more or less taking his time and calculating every maneuver.
Well, in all honesty, this Larsen is carrying excess weight that he really shouldn't be carrying. Therefore, he's not going to match Junior in speed. He's not going to match him in maneuverability or in strength, really. So Junior, I think, feels that even though he doesn't like to take anybody for granted, but I think he feels confident enough that he can handle him.
And a wrist lock by Bruno Sammartino Jr. And he takes over Joe Larsen. And now an armbar by Bruno Sammartino Jr. And there's Junior applying the pressure to the elbow and the shoulder joint of Joe Larsen. Right now, Bruno Sammartino Jr. giving yet another break to Joe Larsen, moving back into center ring, waiting for Larsen to come out of the corner. And there he motions for him, come on. But Larsen still preferring to stay in the safety zone of the corner, or so it seems. Now both wrestlers back in center ring. And a leg trip out by Bruno Sammartino Jr.
I think that this Larsen got hurt his shoulder from that suplex that he got in the very beginning of the match, because I see he's favoring it quite a bit, and I don't think that in all honesty, I don't think he would have provided Junior with too much opposition as is. but I think that he's been less effective because he's hurt that shoulder. At least he was favoring it, although right now, after gouging Junior, he's staying on him quite a bit. It doesn't seem to be favoring that shoulder so much anymore.
Another eye gouge by Larsen. Again, once to the eyes, again to the eyes, and so far, Larsen working the eyes. Into the corner, Bruno Sammartino Jr. And Larsen slowly strutting, and a beautiful kick by Bruno Sammartino Jr., followed by a knee lift. And Bruno Sammartino Jr., beautiful flying drop kick from a standing position.
Oh, I think he was going to go for a suplex, but this fella just went down.
And Larsen coming outside of the ring, but his momentum was slowed down. As he came out, he caught himself on the lower strand of the ring rope. And Bruno Sammartino Jr. helping him in just a little bit. Picking him up, scooping him up, and slamming him down to the canvas. And I have to say, Larsen's a lot of dead weight in that ring. Very difficult to pick up. And it looks like, yes, it is a vertical suplex, and he's coming down. Larsen crashing to the canvas. And Bruno Sammartino Jr. going for the pin. And you can hear the fans cheering Bruno Sammartino Jr. on to victory. Right now, let's take a look at some of that action. And there you can see the setting Larsen up for the suplex. And he comes crashing down to the canvas, and Bruno Sammartino going on top. 1, 2, 3 for the pin. Well, wrestling fans, there's your winner from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Bruno Sammartino Jr. And we'll be right back with a special tag team match right after this message. The curfew introducing, weighing 225 pounds from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Jack Buford. And his opponent from Gary, Indiana, 223 pounds, Larry Winter. And their opponents with a combined weight of 540 pounds, Gentleman Jerry, Luscious Johnny, the Valiant Brothers. And Bruno, what can you say? This next contest, the duo that certainly causes a lot of havoc wherever they go throughout the country, the Valiant Brothers are back with us again.
Well, we know how tough the Valiants are, but you know, Buford and Winters are pretty good competitors themselves, and I think they should be able to provide them with some competition. We see Johnny Valiant starting with Winters.
And right away, a beautiful hip roll by Larry Winter, but the action is quick, and Valiant flips his way out of that one. And again, we're seeing Larry Winter starting off very, very quickly. Very fine young athlete. Shoulder block by Larry Winters, again off the ropes. Valiant in there with that knee to the midsection, and Johnny Valiant catches Buford off guard with the right. And now we're seeing some of the double teaming for which they're well known for.
Oh, I'll tell you, they don't miss a trick, these guys. When they're teamed together, they know all the tricks, boy. They know how to take advantage of every situation. And there's no question about it, no matter how much you want to dislike the Valiant, as a team, they most certainly have been one of the most successful teams in recent history in professional wrestling. They know every dirty trick in the book, and they don't hesitate to use them all, but as a team, of course, they work well together, and what can you say? They have been extremely successful.
And I mentioned before, as we've talked about the Valiants, you not only have to watch the brother that's in the ring, but the brother that's outside the ring. It's almost like fighting four wrestlers when they're together.
Boy, that's for sure.
And there's brother Jerry, and there was scoop slam. And there goes Larry Winter. And Winter's kicking his way out at the count of 2. Front face lock by Larry Winter. Winter coming in to tag his partner, Jack Buford. Buford with some rights to the midsection, double chop, and a hip toss by Jack Buford. And Valiant grabbing the tights, almost turning that into a pin.
Yes, he did. He certainly had him. Buford took Jerry Valiant over, but Valiant quickly grabbed him by those thighs and took him over. Almost did get a pin, but Buford was able to kick out. And right now, again, you see they keep an opponent close to their corner where they can both reach. And quick tags, which, you know, it is smart to make quick tags because you're always fresh. You're always fresh. You're never getting tired. The idea of a successful tag team is to keep an opponent busy in that ring, keep making quick tags, don't let them tag out, and you know, after you wear them out, and of course you eventually beat them.
And Jack Buford was slammed down to the canvas, Bruno. And a chop, we could hear that all the way here in the announcer's booth. The chop to the throat.
A very hard chop, no question. Again, you see, throws them to their corner, their buckle, quick tag again. Here comes the fresh Jerry. Double kick there for a second, and Buford, you know, there's no question he's in trouble. Well, the best thing I think he should be doing is, if he at all could, is to try to get to Winters, who by now is recovered and is much fresher. And perhaps that's what he's going to try to do. He's going to give some hard. Well, not yet. I thought he was going to throw a couple of blows at the midsection of Jerry Valiant and then go over to the corner, but he didn't.
And the knee to the midsection by brother Jerry Valiant. And Jack Buford just looking a little bit bewildered in there at the moment. And you mentioned they keep their opponent close to their corner and away from his partner so they cannot tag off and get a fresh wrestler in there.
Absolutely. You see, look at this now. Now, I know when he took him over this time, you see this, look at this, always within reach of a tag, always within reach of a tag. And at the same time, there's Buford clear across from his corner, not able to tag, and therefore he's suffering.
And now Luscious Johnny in there with a chop to the throat, Jack Buford, and an on-waiting Larry Winter trying to work his way into the action, but it appears as if he will not get into the action unless they really want him to get in.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
And Buford just thrown into the on-waiting boot of Gentleman Jerry, and some more double teaming, and he caught a good right hand right on the chin from Jerry Valiant. And a front face lock now by Gentleman Jerry Valiant. How he got that nickname, I really don't know.
Well, how do you get that name? How do you get the name of Luscious Johnny? I mean, these are nicknames they give themselves, I think. I doubt very much if the fans have given him those names. Gentleman Jerry, how could you call him a gentleman? He's anything but that in that ring. And ask any opponent, I'm sure that they'll tell you.
Perhaps he's the only one that would consider himself a gentleman.
But you know, I have to say it over again. I really and truly dislike their tactics. I mean, they break the books up, but again, the reason for their success is they really, really use every cheap trick in the book, but they have great teamwork. Right now, see, Winters is coming in like a ball of fire, but he's rushing a little too much. When you rush like that, you tend to make mistakes. I hope he doesn't, but just too much rushing. Although right now he's got things under control. Just gave Johnny Valiant a beautiful back drop, a kick. Nice. Be careful here. There you go.
You were right. He was waiting, and he gave Larry Winter.
You're not going to repeat with the same maneuver twice in a row, such thing as a backdrop. You just can't do that. And you see Winters thought he had the Valiant in trouble. He tried it, and he received a hard kick right in the chest.
And now there's Luscious John tagging off with his brother Jerry, but you notice Johnny's still staying in there. Jerry coming in with a series of smashes to the throat and chest area of Larry Winter. And now reverse face lock by Gentleman Jerry. And a series of chops, and right now Larry Winter is certainly getting a good going over.
Well, unfortunately, he is, and again, he's trapped in that corner. He's nowhere near Buford to tag Buford, although I'm not sure that all the punishment Buford took, he's really even ready to come in the ring. But Winters, we've seen Winters in the past. He's a game wrestler. You know, he'll take a lot of hard lickings, but he's a fighter. He comes back. And right now, after what he's taken from the Valiants, he's got the upper hand on Johnny, or I should say had the upper hand, because just as I said that, Jerry, I meant, dropped toe hold him and took over again with a front face lock. But now Winter wisely dragged him to their corner. Now both of them are giving the Valiants a little bit of their own medicine.
You saw some double teaming on the part of Buford and Larry Winter. And Jerry Valiant timed that flying drop kick, and Buford sent crashing down to the canvas. And Jerry Valiant picking him up, and atomic
slammed him right on top of the knee. And now here comes Valiant. Oh, wow. Did you see that? He came from the top rope with a knee right across the throat of Buford. And no way he's going to get out of this. No way. That's a pin.
And the Valiants were certainly devastating in that match. And I believe, Bruno, coming up, we can take a look at some of that action in slow motion. And there you can see Jerry holding him down.
But did you see how he came down? He came down. I mean, he had all his weight behind him. When he came down with the knee, he caught him right across the throat. And I'll tell you, that had to hurt his neck. And, of course, as you see, you know, there was no way Buford was going to get out.
And there are your winners, the Valiant Brothers. Until next week, this is Mike Mittman along with the living legend Bruno Sammartino saying, see you next week for more international.